Hey ladies, it is me, and I wanted to quickly go through kind of what I do when it comes to tax preparation and everything. Obviously, I cannot legally give you any kind of legal or tax advice, so this is kind of just what I do. I would strongly encourage you to find a local CPA or a tax preparer that can go through a lot of this stuff with you. This is just kind of stuff that my CPA had helped me with when I was working behind the chair and had my own salon business. So I have an LLC that I work through, and I pay my taxes quarterly. That way, I'm not going to owe a big chunk of money at the end of the year. I pay them in quarters so that I put aside enough throughout those quarters. So if you're not familiar with quarters, go to Google and you're actually going to type in quarterly tax dates for 2017. And you are going to be able to find the quarterly tax period. So this is for 2016 right here. So just to kind of give you an idea, January 1st to March 31st was quarter one in 2016, and the payment date was April 18th, by April 18th. Second quarter, April 1st to May 31st, and then due on June 5th. So I actually prepare my taxes that way. So let's see. Let me see if I can find quarterly tax dates 2017. Let's see. Let's see if TurboTax has the new tax dates. Okay, here we go. So April 18th is when your first quarter taxes would be due. June 15th is when your second quarter, third quarter, September 15th, and then fourth quarter is due January 15th of 2018. So I actually just wrapped up paying my fourth quarter taxes for fourth quarter of 2016. So that'll kind of help you just kind of browse around there. So I do all of my stuff in Excel spreadsheets. The more organized you are, the better. You want to keep everything possible and you want to stay on top of it so that when it comes time to calculate how much you owe for your quarter, then you have it all there. You have at least some of it caught up where you can go in. So I'm going to show you what I do. I have an expenses one and then I have a quarterly tax one. You need to keep both of them up to date, and then you can input the information from the 2017 into the quarterly tax one. So I have an Excel spreadsheet. I actually just started a fresh one for you guys so that you can see how I have it broken down. So I also wanted to show you guys how to work them. So I have my 2017 and I have it broken down. You've got the date, expenditure, which means the expense, details. The more detailed, the better. The amount, if you have a credit card fee, you'll put it, after you put in the amount in this one, then you'll find the matching category to put it in. So say that I had a credit card fee of like 2.96 or whatever, then I would put it in here. That way it keeps all of my brackets and my expenses categorized so that I can input them for my quarterly taxes. So I've got credit card fees, supplies, education, shipping, team meetings, office supplies, travel, incentives and giveaways, mileage, office furniture, all kinds of stuff. You definitely don't want to forget the mileage. You don't want to forget the marketing. So any blitz cards, any ad boosting that you do would all go in there. Your cell phone bill. If you use your cell phone for your business, which we do, you can write off your line of the business. So you've got internet. So I am able to write off part of the internet because I use the internet. And then any taxes that you pay for the previous quarter, you're going to put in here. I actually used to pay Milford taxes, which I don't anymore. So I can actually delete that bracket. And you may have different brackets that you add in here to categorize everything, but that is that. And then come down here and we are going to rename this 2017 expenses. Keep everything organized. And then the second tab is where I keep all my Square invoice fees or anything that I do from Square. I keep it all tracked in here. So you're going to have the date, the income, If it was an invoice, I just kind of keep track of if it was something I swiped or if it was an invoice and then the fee. So you can keep track of that, and then we're going to actually rename this for Square Income. And then the third tab that I have is for my unique income. This is where, like, the back office, what you get paid out on the 8th of the month. This is what I'm going to show. You'll get a 1099 if you earned over $500 in the tax year, and it'll show your earnings for the year. But that does not include anything that you ordered in your personal name. So keep that in mind. So you will see a difference in your total numbers versus your 1099 numbers. So let me clarify that for you. I have the month that I earned, and then I break it down into my personal income. So the income that that extra 5% that I as an elite earn when I'm paid out royalties, how much I get paid on my circle, how much I got paid on my first gen, second gen, third gen, and then the total. And then I also keep track of my Square income over here. And I like to break it down so that I can actually graph it and kind of see what months are higher, which months are lower, see if there's any growth in my first, second, third gen, all kinds of stuff. That way I'm just a numbers junkie like that. It's just kind of fun to be able to graph it. So then we're going to rename that, and we are going to rename that royalties. Okay, so let me save that. Hold on, babe. I'm working. And then, okay, so that is that. So once you have that, I usually will total up. I'll take another one. Once the month's over, I'll total up all the stuff that's in the credit card fees. Oh, Bloomingdale's. All the things in the credit card fees, supplies, education. I'll total everything up. That way you have easy access to it. You also, here, let's see. Let's get to, let me open a new one. And we're going to open the 2017 quarterly taxes. This is probably what you guys need most help on. So I actually have sheet 1 is going to be my, let me do first quarter. I'll just do first Q. It's all the same information, it is just different quarters. Thank you. Quarters, yes. Quarters. Third Q and fourth Q. Okay. Organization is your friend. Okay, so it's the same thing. And then I actually have to update this. I will usually put the dates of the quarter, and then right here I will put payment due, and then I think it was April 15th, 2017. So that way it keeps everything organized. It tells me when my payment is due. I put my unique royalties for that quarter right here. I go get my Square invoices from that other Excel spreadsheet that we had, and then I total that income. If you don't know how to total, you go to that little thing, and actually I think you can go like that, and then da-da-da-da. So that's the auto sum. Obviously I don't have any numbers in there, so it's not gonna work. Or you can do equal that square plus that square, and it's gonna tell you the total of the two. And then down here is going to be your expenses. So you've got all those tabs from the other Excel spreadsheet are over here. So your total credit card fees for that quarter, your total product purchases for that quarter, any education materials for that quarter. And so you are going to total up all, I'm sorry about that, Macy's. You're going to total up all of those expenses. I don't have anything in there, so it's telling me it's wrong. And then this net income. Your net income is how much you made after all of your expenses. So you are going to create a formula, and you're going to say equals your total income minus your total expenses, and it's going to tell you how much you are going to be taxed on. So that number is important because after all your write-offs, the net income that you make is what you will be taxed on. And then down here, this is where you want to get with your CPA or your tax professional, because they can help you with how much is due to different areas. So My tax professional, she is amazing. And when I met with her for my salon business, she actually broke this down for me. So, how much I owe for federal, how much I owe for state. She even had my Milford one. So, it calculates about 3% for my state and about 25% for my federal. So that could vary depending on where you live, your tax bracket, all kinds of stuff. I put aside 30% of my earnings every single month. So when I get paid on the 8th and I transfer that money over, I put aside 30% of that entire thing into another savings account for when it's tax time. So I calculate by 25%, but I put away 30 so that I don't end up owing more. So I always put aside more. And then if you have more left over at the end of that quarter when your payments are due, that's kind of like a savings account for you. So you've got that extra money that you can then put into your actual family savings account. So I put aside 30. I usually pay 25-ish depending on the time of year and the tax bracket that I fall into. So keep that in mind, but definitely find a tax professional or a CPA that you trust and that is very knowledgeable on small businesses, that they can find you the best way to save money and not owe it all to Uncle Sam. So that is what I do. I keep track of all of this, and then come tax time, I'm able to print all of these documents off for my tax professional. I take her all of my stuff organized. So I take my quarterly payments, I take all my payment receipts, I take my my expenses, my mileage, all of that stuff I have ready to go, printed off for her so that it makes her job easier to get our tax return done, out of the way. I give her my 1099. I give her everything that she needs so that she can do her job the best. So the more you prepare, the easier it's going to be for your tax professional and the faster you're going to be able to get it done. So staying on top of your taxes is huge. Hopefully this was helpful, but again, I am not legally allowed to give you guys tax advice on as far as payments, write-offs, all of that stuff. Legally, I am not able to. So please go find a tax professional near you that you know and trust. Put it out on Facebook, see recommendations that people give you. But this is my system. This is how I take care of my taxes. The biggest thing I can tell you is to stay organized, stay ahead of time. The TaxSpot app is amazing. It has an automatic tracker where as soon as your car starts moving, it starts tracking your mileage, and then you can classify it as business or personal. You can screenshot your receipts into it and put in the who, what, when, where, why. Those are all important things. I highly encourage you to watch some webinars on taxes and just understand that it's not something to be scared of. It's not something to be nervous about if you prepare accordingly. So I do not mess around with my taxes. I have gotten more and more comfortable, and honestly, the putting money away is the biggest thing that I can tell you. Prepare. Put money aside quarterly so that, or after every paycheck. I know it's not fun to put away that hard-earned money, but when it comes quarterly payment time, you will thank yourself for putting that money away, because I spent many months scrambling trying to find that money in the beginning of my business, and I wish I wouldn't have. So hopefully this was helpful, and I will talk to you guys later.